The Enigma of Jeanne Calment, the World's Oldest Woman, by Monique. The town of Arles is steeped in an ancient beauty, with its sun-drenched streets echoing the glories of its Roman past. In the late 19th century, it was into this historic tapestry that Jeanne Calment was born. Her life began in a world far removed from modernity. No airplane cut streaks across the azure sky above, no cars rumbled over cobblestone streets. Arles itself was a canvas of time, where the pace of life ebbed and flowed like the river Rhone that gently curves around the town, whispering secrets from centuries gone by. On February 21, 1875, Jeanne-Louise Calment entered this world, born into a bourgeois family proud of its standing, yet mindful of its modest comforts. Her father, Nicolas Calment, was a shipbuilder, a respectable trade that provided both sustenance and standing within the community. Her mother, Marguerite Gilles, managed the household with a deft hand, ensuring the family's day-to-day affairs ran smoothly against the backdrop of a society on the cusp of great change. Jeanne's longevity would eventually become her legend, yet the first whispers of controversy would not come until she had already outlived most of her generation. For many decades, Jeanne lived an unremarkable life, one marked by small joys, quiet sorrow, and the steady passage of time. She married Fernand Calment, a distant cousin and a prosperous store owner whose success afforded her a life of relative ease. Jeanne embraced simple pleasures, cycling through Arles' historic streets, nurturing her love for painting and savoring the vibrant local culture. It was a life measured not by extraordinary events, but by the richness of everyday moments. Little did anyone suspect that within this ordinary woman lay the seeds of an extraordinary, if controversial, claim to fame. As the years unfurled like delicate petals in the breeze, Arles grew rather fond of its enduring resident. Jeanne's longevity became a charming fixture of the town's identity. Locals and visitors alike delighted in her anecdotes, tales of a bygone era featuring encounters with the likes of Vincent van Gogh, and recollections of a time when horse-drawn carts, not automobiles, ruled the roads. Through Jeanne, Arles kept a tenuous connection to its fading past, a living testament to a world slipping into history. Yet, her most astonishing claim was still to come. By the twilight of the 20th century, Jeanne emerged from the obscurity of daily life into the glaring spotlight of international media. Officially recognized as the world's oldest living person, her vitality astounded journalists, scientists, and ordinary people across the globe. Jeanne charmed interviewers with her wit, her sharp memory, and her singular perspective on the march of time. Yet beneath the surface of this heartwarming story, a darker question simmered. Was Jeanne truly the miraculous title holder of such longevity? Or was her story a masterful performance, an intricate family drama of deception and survival? In 2018, more than 2 decades after Jeanne's death, Russian researcher Nikolai Zak published an explosive claim. Jeanne Calment was not who she claimed to be. According to Zak, Jeanne had actually died many decades earlier, and it was her daughter, Yvonne, who had assumed her mother's identity. This audacious theory suggested that the Calment family had orchestrated this charade to avoid crippling inheritance taxes after Fernand's death in 1942, a motive both plausible and chilling. Zak's claims did not exist in a vacuum. He found an ally in gerontologist Valery Novoselov, and together they embarked on a forensic journey through Jeanne's life. They combed through photographs, official records, and eyewitness accounts, identifying inconsistencies that, though circumstantial, painted a troubling picture. A photograph from the early 20th century appeared to depict a woman with features inconsistent with those of the centenarian Jeanne. Health records revealed puzzling contradictions, and testimonies of locals hinted at anomalies in Jeanne's recollections. Delving into the archives of Arles and national records, researchers found themselves entangled in the complex web of history and memory. Birth and death records from the 19th and early 20th centuries were often incomplete, marred by the chaos of war and the limitations of bureaucratic systems. Yet, amid the faded ink and crumbling papers, a narrative emerged, one where facts blurred with assumptions and memories mixed with myths. Among those who might have held keys to the mystery was Albert Arnault, a caregiver who had known Jeanne in her later years. Albert often remarked on her vague stories, her reluctance to speak of personal childhood memories, and her focus on secondhand tales. Reflecting on these memories after the conspiracy theories surfaced, Albert admitted a chilling possibility. Perhaps Jeanne's recollections had never truly been her own. Beneath the scientific investigations lay a profoundly human question. What could drive a family to sustain such an elaborate deception for decades? Wartime France was a crucible of hardship where survival often demanded creativity and moral compromise. Avoiding inheritance taxes could mean the difference between ruin and preservation of family wealth. Perhaps the Calments, faced with unbearable loss and financial devastation, chose subterfuge over surrender. Jeanne's daughter Yvonne presents another piece of the puzzle. Born in 1898, Yvonne was, by many accounts, a lively and intelligent young woman. She reportedly died of pleurisy in 1934, leaving behind her son. But could Yvonne have survived, assuming her mother's identity to safeguard the family's future? The theory, while provocative, demands a leap of faith into a labyrinth of incomplete records, oral histories, and possible cover-ups. To assess the plausibility of such a deception, one must understand the sociology of small-town France in the early 20th century. Communities were tightly knit, information traveled informally, and personal relationships often superseded official documentation. It is conceivable that a well-known family could engineer such a ruse, especially if their social circle conspired, whether knowingly or unknowingly, in preserving appearances. As years turned into decades, the legend of Jeanne Calment grew, cemented by her remarkable charm, her vivid interviews, and her undeniable presence. Even those who noticed discrepancies chose to see in her a beacon of human endurance. A small town's pride, a nation's fascination, and a world's wonder solidified her place in history, regardless of the deeper, more troubling truths that might have lurked beneath. Today, in the lively cafes of Arles, residents still speak of Jeanne with a mixture of affection and intrigue. For many, the myth has eclipsed the need for truth. To them, Jeanne remains a symbol of resilience, a reminder of the fleeting yet enduring nature of human life. Whether she was truly 122 years old or the beneficiary of a carefully constructed lie, her story continues to captivate the imagination. As the Mediterranean sun sinks behind the ancient stone walls of Arles, one cannot help but ponder, does it truly matter? If history is but a tapestry, woven from facts, perceptions, and emotions, perhaps Jeanne Calment's story is simply another intricate pattern in the fabric of human existence. Truth, after all, often wears many faces. The enigma of Jeanne Calment's life challenges us to confront our own relationship with history, memory, and myth. It asks whether we seek comfort in legends or strive for unvarnished truth, even at the cost of dismantling cherished narratives. Jeanne's tale, whether one of miraculous longevity or of profound deception, endures as a testament to the complexities of human identity and the lengths to which we will go to preserve it. In the final analysis, Jeanne Calment was a figure who transcended her own mortality. Whether celebrated as the world's oldest person or remembered as the center of a century-spanning mystery, she occupies a unique place in our collective consciousness. Her story is a mirror, reflecting our hopes, our skepticism, and our endless fascination with the boundaries of human possibility. Even as new evidence may surface, or as debates continue among scholars, one truth remains immutable. Jeanne Calment's life, in all its layers of mystery and meaning, has left an indelible mark on the story of humanity. She reminds us that history is not merely a record of what was, but a living, breathing entity shaped by those who tell it and those who choose to believe. As the shadows deepen over the stone streets of Arles and the soft murmur of conversation fades into the night, Jeanne's presence lingers, not merely as a woman who lived, but as a story that refuses to die. Her laughter, her resilience, and perhaps even her secrets ripple through time, inviting each new generation to ponder anew. Who was Jeanne Calment? Perhaps in the end, it is not the factual details of her age that matter most, but the spirit she embodies, a spirit that embraces life, defies limitation, and enchants the world with its mystery. Jeanne Calment remains eternally a testament to the enigmatic beauty of human life, stitched forever into the vast, unfolding tapestry of time. The end. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and ring the bell.